So you know your Pitta Dosha, but are still unsure on how your diet should be? I'm Monica Gisela, the founder of Prana with Love, the place where people turn for Ayurvedic guidance. In this video, I'm going to show you the most effective strategies to eat in a way that pacifies your Pitta Dosha. These are the most beneficial tips to have a healing Ayurvedic diet for a Pitta body type. I'll also show you 3 possible Ayurvedic menus that will have breakfast, lunch and dinner, and at the end we'll prepare together a balancing and delicious anti-Pitta breakfast. On top of that, I'll provide you with a free Ayurvedic 7-day meal plan for Pitta. Keep watching. What makes Pitta Dosha unique? Well, Pitta is hot, light, sharp, and oily. These qualities lead to anger, impatience, and irritability. One of my dominant doshas is Pitta, and my husband can certify that when I'm not balanced, I tend to get a little bit crazy. Physically, Pitta individuals tend to be of medium frame and weight, have reddish skin, prone to inflammation diseases like acne, have piercing eyes that get inflamed easily, and have strong appetites. If you are Pitta, you tend to suffer from infections, inflammatory diseases, burning sensations, liver disorders, ulcers, and acidity. Pitta represents that fire principle in our body, and this is also noticeable in our mental nature. Does being overly ambitious, controlling, or critical sound familiar? That might indicate that your Pitta has been provoked. No worries. It can all be corrected with the right diet and lifestyle. Let's review each pacifying tip. A good Ayurvedic diet for Pitta Dosha is strengthening with mainly sweet, bitter, and astringent tastes. These generally have a constrictive, reductive, and cooling impact in the body. With that being said, keep away from foods that increase Pitta. These foods are pungent, sour, salty, and too hot. Stimulating foods further invigorate Pitta. The emphasis should be on moderate tastes. One of the fundamental principles of Ayurveda is that like increases like and opposites create balance. For example, if you experience a lot of internal heat and inflammation, consuming energetically heating foods such as chilies or onions will only exacerbate the problem. For Pitta types, in order to maintain balance within our body, it's important to favor foods that are cooling and calming in nature. Favor cold drinks, but stay away from ice-cold beverages, especially during meals, because they will weaken your digestive fire. A good Ayurvedic diet for Pitta Dosha includes fruits. Most fruits are good for Pitta as they are calming and cooling. Some are sour like strawberries, so they are not really an ideal fruit for this constitution. To keep Pitta in balance, freshly blended fruit juices drunk at room temperature are nutritious, satisfying, cooling, and delicious. Some good fruits to eat are coconuts, figs, mangoes, melons, and pears. Bananas are okay only occasionally. Make sure they are not ripe and don't eat them if you have fever. Regarding vegetables, they are also excellent for calming Pitta, especially if taken raw or gently cooked. A great way to have them is by steaming them. Then you can serve them with a little bit of oil on top. Don't add too many spices. Also, please never fry your veggies, that can be Pitta aggravating. Another tip is to avoid nightshades. Tomatoes, for example, can provoke Pitta a lot as they are highly acidic. Instead, favor cucumbers, asparagus, bitter melon, and zucchinis. Legumes are astringent in nature and therefore they are a great addition to an Ayurvedic diet for Pitta Dosha. Plus, this constitution normally has a strong digestive fire and can handle them with no problem. You can include the following legumes in your everyday diet: black beans, kidney beans, lentils, chickpeas, among others, should be consumed to lessen the Pitta in your body. Make sure you cook them utilizing Ayurvedic principles to render them more digestible. Find a link below to get the tips on how to properly cook legumes. One of Pitta's qualities is lightness. Therefore, food should be heavy and grounding. Because of that, whole grains must be favored. They are strengthening and harmonizing, and very importantly, they don't overheat the body. Most grains are good. For instance, barley, basmati rice, and granola are phenomenal choices. Corn or rye, not so much, so try to stay away from them. Oils have a Pitta nature. They are hot and obviously oily, which are two Pitta qualities we are trying to reduce. Thus, they should be generally avoided by Pitta individuals. I suggest you cook with little quantities, and when you do, use ghee or coconut oil as they have a strong cooling nature. Likewise, nuts and seeds are warm, so yes, they do aggravate Pitta, particularly if you eat them roasted or salted. But you could still add a few almonds to your oatmeal. Just remember they need to be soaked overnight and peeled. And sweetened coconut flakes are also a good fat. I add it to a lot of my recipes, even Pitta Dietary. I leave the recipe in the description down below. I've always had mixed feelings about milk. On one hand, Ayurveda recommends it to Pittas. They tend to have the strongest digestive fire. But I know from my own experience and by working with my clients that milk can cause acne and bloating. Some of us are very lactose intolerant. I know Ayurveda considers milk a sacred food. However, nowadays cows are treated entirely different to how they were treated thousands of years ago in Indian villages. Today they are treated horribly with high amounts of antibiotics and exposed to other horrors. I would suggest that if you are certain you digest milk well, look for an organic pasture-raised source and avoid at all costs the store-bought brands. An optimal Ayurvedic diet for Pitta Dosha avoids spicy food. Mexican, I know. Sharp flavors stimulate Pitta, so spices should be generally avoided as they are heating. Some are good for Pitta, but in small amounts. Cardamom, cilantro, fennel, and mint are cooling and provide a beautiful taste to your meals. In addition, sweeteners are known to pacify Pitta in the body, and so most of them support our system. The appropriate balance should be maintained anyway, so small quantities are recommended. Dates and maple syrup are my favorite. Digestion efficient and avoid having your Pitta Dosha from getting aggravated, it is important to follow a few good eating habits. First, don't skip meals, especially breakfast. Eat lunch as close to noon as possible. Lunch should be your heaviest meal of the day. Eat dinner before sunset. Chew well. Don't watch TV while eating or have polemic conversations. Never eat when angry. Eat at 2/3 of your full stomach capacity. For us, everything is either black or white. We like extremes. So remember, moderation is key to pacify Pitta Dosha. These are 3 menus you can try at home. All the recipes are in my website. Link is down below. So don't worry about writing the instructions or anything. Start your day with a green juice. Blend your favorite vegetables, no fruits, and drink it fresh. I recommend a blend of fresh cucumber, kale, lime, sprouts, spirulina, wheatgrass, turmeric root, cilantro, parsley, and mint. Then have a Pitta Dietary. The recipe will be found in the description below. It provides you with a mild but effective cleanse. For dinner, have a mixed vegetable soup. Cook some fresh vegetables in season in water and some cumin seeds, cardamom, turmeric, cilantro, and salt. For menu number 2, I would suggest for breakfast have cream wheat porridge with soy milk, Cook it with a little bit of ghee and cardamom. Tur dal soup for lunch is fantastic. The spices you could use for this one are turmeric, a pinch of hing, and salt. Then for dinner have baked sweet potato with ghee and zucchini and a little bit of cinnamon. You could either use ghee or coconut oil and top it with fresh cilantro. This is one of my favorite breakfast recipes, sweet potato kheer. Just peel and chop the sweet potato, add some coconut milk, cardamom, and a pinch of saffron. Cook until it becomes a thick paste. Fried avocado rice is so delicious and filling, yet cooling for Pitta Dosha. Recipes in the description below. That is an ideal lunch. Okra and basmati rice can be fantastic for dinner. Cook the okra with cumin seeds, turmeric, cilantro, and a little bit of meat. Now, as I promised, let's make together the cream of rice, a perfect breakfast to pacify Pitta Dosha. For this Pitta reducing recipe, we are going to use homemade almond milk, but you can use any plant-based milk like soy milk or coconut milk. We will add some rose petals because Pitta has a lot of fire, and this is a very nice ingredient to reduce that fire. We will also use cardamom, one of the best spices to use for Pitta Dosha. And then we are going to add a little bit of coconut sugar. This recipe is dry, mild, cooling, grounding, and stabilizing. It is also dense, and that's perfect because those qualities help balance the excess of Pitta Dosha. We are using rice, ground rice or cream of rice, because rice is cooling and is sweet. Rice is known to balance Vata and Pitta, not so much Kapha, and can be combined with vegetables, with legumes, with nuts to make a food that is wholesome and nutritious. Ayurveda believes that any time is a good time for rice. It looks not only at the quality of the rice itself, but who's eating it and when. So we are using a rice that is basmati, that is organic, and we are preparing it with the right spices and also in a very calm mood where we are preparing just the perfect breakfast for Pitta Dosha. We are going to serve it, of course, in a blue bowl because colors also affect the doshas. So we are using this blue color that is certainly going to reduce the aggravated fire that occurs in Pittas. And we are going to top it with pear and apple compote, which is perfect also for Pitta. Apples are sattvic and alkalizing and are one of the best fruits to pacify Pitta Dosha and also Kapha Dosha. The breakfast is yummy and it's super healthy. With the years, I've helped my body get to a more balanced state by following the principles we just reviewed today. Believe it or not, I was awfully Pitta aggravated. I suffered from severe acne for years. But the good news is that Ayurveda does help. I also noticed tremendous results with my clients. Andrea stopped feeling acid reflux after eating by introducing just a few tips I show you today. Karina, another client, suffered for 7 years from acne. She finally healed after practicing Ayurveda for just a few months. Her family and friends couldn't believe it. Lorena has seen a reduction in her temper after she registered in my program. We've been working together for 2 years. You can pacify Pitta too. Now this is the recap of the strategies that will help you get started with an Ayurvedic diet for Pitta Dosha. A cooling, calming, cleansing, and nurturing diet is best for Pitta people. Food should be cool, heavy, and a little dry, so not too much oil. It is recommended to include green juices as part of an anti-Pitta diet. Remember that the recipe is down below. Make sure that you establish a time for your meals and stick to it to promote regularity. Avoid cold water. It will destroy your acne and weaken your digestion. To heal, it is crucial that you have a strong digestive fire, so favor cool drinks. The tastes that you should go for are sweet, bitter, and astringent. And finally, spices to cook with in small amounts are turmeric, fennel, coriander, cumin, cilantro, and mint. Now go to the link below and download my full free 7-day Pitta meal plan. I created it to last you 7 days, and trust me, you'll notice a big difference after consistently and rigorously following it. Of course, you can ask me any questions. If I'm unsure about a recipe or instruction, just shoot me an email. I have listed my contact information down below, and I'll be more than happy to get to you as soon as I'm able. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, but also to my weekly letter, link below. I send you tips every single week. Happy healing!